The 2023 Illinois State Fair is next week. Starts Thursday. Can't believe it. Megan and I do plan on going out. It's kind of an annual tradition. Just looking at some of the video from last year. Had that 360-degree camera out there. And it was wonderful weather last year. Hopefully the weather this year sticks and is not super duper hot with crazy storm fronts moving through every other day, but with sunny skies early next week with a high of 82, I hope that is what we're going to get all throughout the Illinois State Fair. So obviously tons to do, all kinds of food, all kinds of rides, all kinds of agriculture events. The Sky Glide is our personal favorite. We get on that thing every year and just go back and forth. You've got the culture, the Village of Cultures. You've got all the different vendors that are there, the food, the candy, the snacks, the games, all kinds of different fun interactive events and things. So obviously it's going to be a big event and showcasing a lot of the agriculture as well. But here we are now, just less than a week away from the start of the Illinois State Fair. I can't believe it. It's pretty incredible. But yesterday they had Preview Day. Preview Day is obviously a big time for the officials of the Illinois State Fair to kind of showcase what they've got going on for the expo. And we'll hear from the Illinois State of Illinois Department of Agriculture, Jerry Costello. He was there yesterday at the fairgrounds during the preview day, laying out some of what the theme is and also all of the investments that have been made at the fairgrounds. So here's Jerry Costello laying all that out during preview day yesterday for members of the media.
This year's theme to the fair is Harvest the Fun. If you look around at the fairgrounds, there's a lot of things that have been revitalized over the last 4 years or so. And we're actually at the point where we're harvesting a lot of that hard work that has taken place. If you make sure and please pick up your media packet if you haven't already. In that media packet, there's a one-pager that will highlight some of the things that have been done here on the fairgrounds. And I want to reiterate that some of the things, but there is a lot that's been done over the last 4 years here on the fairgrounds. A couple of examples, the multi-purpose arena, if you'll remember last year, we were not able to use that because of construction. This year, the multi-purpose arena will be open. It's an $8.6 million renovation. Our state fair manager, Becky Clark, will go over some of the events that are going to occur there. I can tell you, any fairgoers moving around the fairgrounds, it's hard to miss the tents of the multi-purpose arena. It's something that I'm sure everyone will notice as new. Another thing, and just to our side here, the historic Coliseum. We're in phase 2 of the renovation to the historic Coliseum. If you remember last year when we were talking here, we talked about phase 2 would start right after the fair. So that is currently going on, but some of the things that have happened are going to happen more after the fair. We've got most of the seating in the Coliseum, so there is a portion of seating that has not been put in yet, but a large portion of the seating is in. There's new HVAC going into the Coliseum. That's to make it a year-round use facility, which will absolutely be amazing. Incredible bathroom concession stand improvements. One of the things that I really would like to highlight, we're making it more ADA compliant. There are 2 elevators that are being added. So that's something that's extremely, extremely important. And I want to highlight as well, similar to a lot of things in agriculture, progress is incremental. I know we're in an instant gratification society and a lot of people want things done yesterday. Construction and progress is incremental, but I think we're doing a great job on the fairgrounds here.
That's Department of Agriculture Director Jerry Costello yesterday during Ag Day, highlighting some of the big things they're doing. And the theme, again, is Harvest the Fun, but they're also harvesting a whole bunch of upgrades, $58.1 million worth just from the state's Rebuild Illinois program. Got $6.7 million worth from the Illinois Department of Agriculture. So you're looking at well over $62 million of upgrades over the last 5 years. Some of this one-pager that he mentioned that we got at press preview day was Adventure Village, train station renovation, the backstretch, electrical pedestal upgrades in the camping area, Building 30, remodeled, including interior electrical wiring, flooring, plumbing, and painting. You've also got the Coliseum, which he laid out a whole bunch of things, HVAC, sprinkler system, ADA compliance, some elevators there. Drainage was a big issue we had some severe flooding that happened several years ago. So pedestrian walkway tunnels, and there's a tunnel that goes underneath the racetrack out there, and that's being upgraded. Emerson Building getting upgrades, energy efficiency, multi-purpose arena where they have the monster truck shows and the rodeo type events. $8.6 million that they spent on that. And it's not completely done, but after being closed last year, that'll be opened back up. A lot of paving. The roads look great. I mean, it's blacktop and most of it. Yeah, there's still some roads that have like rock and chip, but I'm telling you, it looks amazing. And a lot of investment. Again, more than $62 million going in. Permanent ticket booths were set up. A lot of road construction around, different types of roof replacements. They've also got a sensory station, which we'll hear about coming up, and the Village of Culture's 18 new buildings out there over a 3-year period, including dressing rooms, pavilions for shade, and updated fixtures, electrical, and plumbing. So I did see one comment say that they're really looking forward to see how the $60+ million is being used to upgrade the bathrooms. That's obviously a big deal. But during press preview day, I did ask Director Costello about getting a return on investment. And what does that look like, if there is any such a thing, when it comes to this type of fair from the state of Illinois?
Is there a threshold where you guys do turn a profit? Is that something that happens year after year? Or I guess, can you speak to that?
Yeah, so here's what I would tell you. From a revenue and profit standpoint, if you look at the annual economic impact of the Illinois State Fair, just the 11 days of the Illinois State Fair, I think about 16 years ago it was $86 million. So we're going to work with U of I hopefully to do a new study. That's got to be well over $100 million. That's Sangamon County, that's the surrounding areas. That is the 11 days of the fair, not the 270, 280 non-fair events that take place on this fairgrounds. So when you want to talk about turning a profit, I think that's what you have to talk about. You have to talk about revenues from gas stations, revenues from restaurants, hotel taxes, talk to the city of Springfield as far as what this fairgrounds means to them.
So, yes, the city of Springfield guaranteed they're going to say this is a huge deal. And every year they get tons of money from all kinds of revenue coming in from hotel, motel, gas, sales tax. And it's not just for the 11 days of the fair. It's for all of the other activities that go on out at the Illinois State Fairgrounds all year round. So, yeah, we'll hear more about what's coming up and what's new at the Illinois State Fair. But we do have a phone call coming in, so let's go ahead and grab that up. Good morning. You're on WMAY. Oh, would have been. Did I not patch that through? I thought I did. Oh, boy. This phone. I'm telling you guys. All right, stay tuned. More about All right, back with Springfield's Morning News. We've been talking about the Illinois State Fair, which is less than a week away, and hearing from some of the fair officials as to what to expect for the 11-day expo that starts Thursday next week. We do have a call coming in at 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Yeah, Greg, I tried calling in earlier about the Trump thing, and we're asphalting Highway 123. Now I'm over around Jacksonville, and I got through.
Oh, wow.
But there's a documentary out there. It's called 2,000 Mules, and it'll show you how the election was rigged. And Trump did not incite violence January 6th, because some of my group was there, and the cops actually opened up the gates and let people in. And, our Constitution is under attack right now. They're trying to push through their agenda. They do not want Trump getting in there because he is going to clean house. And they're doing their best they can do to stop him right now. And this is all political. That's all it is. And some of the listeners, all they do is listen to mainstream media. And it's all propaganda. They're going with the agenda. And I just wish people would start free thinking and look at other outlets, like YouTube. There's a lot of conservative channels I watch on YouTube, and I found you. Now I watch you every day when I'm working. I run a dump truck hauling asphalt. So, but I'm sorry I couldn't get through earlier, but for some reason in between Jacksonville and Alexander, I cannot make a call.
It's interesting. Well, just to the station you couldn't make a call, or you couldn't make a call at all?
Just to the station. I could call other people, but I couldn't get through to you.
That's fascinating. No, I appreciate you. And yeah, even though it's a little off topic, we'll definitely hear your calls. So I'm glad that you were able to get through and be safe out there on those roadways. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Again, that was some conversations from earlier talking about the Trump indictment and his not guilty plea and so on. But let's get back to what's going on at the Illinois State Fair. Of course, you've got less than a week before this thing kicks off. And it's going to be a pretty big deal, of course, because they've spent, $60+ million on renovations over the past 5 years. So you've got updates really to all of the buildings all over the place at the State Fairgrounds, including the Coliseum, which is going to have ADA accessibility and new bathroom facilities and so on. But let's hear from Rebecca Clark. She is the State Fair manager yesterday during preview day. She laid out some of the new things that are heading for the Illinois State Fair when it opens up on Thursday. And here she is laying out some of those details.
This resource is conveniently located in the heart of the...
I guess I should say she talks about the options they're having available for those who can quickly get overwhelmed through various sensory things. People who might have, be on the spectrum of sorts, where loud noises and things like that might make them uneasy. Well, the State Fair is going to have some sensory specific and sensory aware programs available for those on the fairgrounds.
This resource is conveniently located in the heart of the fairgrounds and will be a dedicated quiet zone. This air-conditioned building will be open all 11 days of the fair from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and will be housed with trained volunteers who can help individuals identify resources within the sensory station to help them regroup and refocus. The sensory station will be equipped with helpful tools such as noise-canceling headphones, calming pods, and quiet activities to aid children and adults who need help processing the sights, sounds, smells, noises, and crowds associated with the fair. We will also have sensory bags that can be checked out for use on the fairgrounds. The vision and initiative would not be possible without the amazing support of some local community partners. Partners like Serve Illinois, Springfield Clinic, and Hope School have helped guide and support this meaningful initiative. And with that, I would like to introduce Karen Brown from Hope School.
We also want to make sure that our kids go out and do things just like all of your families might. And so we take our kids out, throughout the week to different events in town. The State Fair has always been one that is a little harder for us, but I really appreciate that we are able to help make it more inclusive for not only our own children, but other children, in the state of Illinois.
Listen, there's no question, even those who don't suffer from some kind of sensory issues, it's overwhelming at times at the Illinois State Fair. The music, the sounds, the smells, as Rebecca mentioned there. But she also talked about some of the cost savings things that are being implemented to make sure that everybody can head to the fair and enjoy themselves without breaking the bank.
That the Illinois State Fair is the most affordable state fair in the Midwest. With $5 parking, $5 to $10 admission, various discount days, and free admission for kids 12 and under every day of the fair, we are a very affordable attraction. But even with that said, this year we took it a step further to find additional ways to for families to save money while visiting the state fair. So this year we created 2 money-saving opportunities for fairgoers. The first one is called our Double the Fun parking promotion. On opening day, August 10th, when you come to the Illinois State Fair and you pay to park on the grounds, your parking ticket can be used for free parking on a return trip on either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. The second promotion is exclusive to Tuesday, August 15th. Tuesday, get it? TWO, Tuesday, will reduce admission for just $2 for adults and seniors. This is a fantastic opportunity for families and friends to make a return trip to the Illinois State Fair.
So again, a lot of different promotions to shore up costs for the consumers out there. And obviously, that's one of the complaints we hear all the time is it's not just the ticket price. It's it's so expensive for the vendors to sell their food. And I mean, listen, it's just something, it's a fair for crying out loud. It's deep fried, delicious food. By the way, when I was out there, I did go and get my required Vose corn dog. Here is more from the fair and a change that's going to be happening. Jerry Costello, the director of the Illinois Department of Agriculture, he talked about the importance of moving Ag Day. So it's no longer going to be the last Friday of the fair. It's going to be the first Friday of the fair. And he said that that's going to help out families quite a bit.
So I would tell you one of the things that we've been asked forever, school dates when school starts keeps moving up. And that's been an issue as far as Ag Day at the fair. If we look at most schools in the state of Illinois, they start August 14th or after. Having Ag Day on August 11th, we think solves a lot of that problem. And so many more of those kids, those parents, they're not going to have to take off school. And hopefully it drives attendance during Ag Day.
So the director saying that, hey, having Ag Day this first Friday, it's going to make sure that they get people there not having to miss school. So that's an interesting change. So a couple of different new things there. But obviously, you've also got questions about safety. There's been some pretty alarming stories as of late concerning at least over, Effingham County, where a young girl lost her life after a malfunction during a harness race. And Jerry Costello reacting to that.
Yeah, so first of all, the one thing that I want to say there is that was an extremely tragic event. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family and also with the Effingham community. Having 2 daughters myself, a grandchild, it puts a knot in my stomach to even talk about it. I will tell you, our facilities are much different than a lot of the other facilities. We have a concrete wall, we have tension cables, we have mesh that keeps debris from coming up off of the track. So totally different facilities than a lot of what you'll see at a lot of the county fairs.
So addressing the horse racing after a pretty tragic story, but what about the carnival rides? That was also a question that was brought up. And Rebecca Clark talked about how those are ultimately being managed and inspected on a regular basis to ensure that things are as safe as possible. Here she is laying that out.
So there are certifications, obviously, that have to take place on all of these rides. We also work with the Illinois State Police from a safety aspect to make sure background checks, what have you, are being done. So from a certification standpoint, Becky, would you like to add anything else?
The Department of Labor will be out and they will inspect every single ride before they can even go into operation. Before we can put a fairgoer on those rides, the Department of Labor has to certify all of those rides and inspect them. So that will take place before the fair even starts, and the carnival should be open and ready to go Thursday at noon.
Is that daily, or is that just at the start of the fair?
So at the start of the fair, it has to be done for every ride. If it goes offline, if there's severe weather or anything like that, we review again.
So, some certainty there that the rides are going to be inspected regularly at the beginning of the fair, if they go offline, if there's severe weather, and so on. So it all starts coming up Thursday next week. You guys ready? Oh, boy. We are not broadcasting out there this year. Kind of bittersweet. It's tough to get out there every morning and broadcast, but it's also great to be on the scene, see the sun come up. But we won't be doing that. We'll be back here at the studio, but we'll definitely be focusing a lot on what's going on at the Illinois State Fair. All right, stay tuned. We'll wrap things up next here with Spring